Welcome to Local Roots, your favorite podcast brought to you by the Richmond Farmers Market. We're here to celebrate the heart of our community, local farmers, fresh produce, and artisan creations that make Richmond, Indiana truly unique. Join us as we take you behind the scenes with interviews, tips for seasonal shopping, and stories straight from our market vendors. Catch us on YouTube and all major podcast platforms. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Stay rooted, stay connected. It's time to grow local with Local Roots.
Hi guys, welcome back to Local Roots, your Richmond Farmers Market podcast. I'm Hannah Snoddy.
I'm Christy Cruz.
And today with us we have Ethan Estes. So Ethan, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I'm Ethan Estes. I'm the co-owner of Icing on Top and Big Paws Bakery here, located in Cambridge City, Indiana. So
Treats for humans.
treats for humans and for dogs.
And
So,
for dogs.
all the fun stuff.
How long have you been with the market now?
This winter market will be the third winter market we've done. So we started 2 times ago. Yeah, I know.
Time flies.
It seems like it started yesterday, but we're on our third winter season. So fun stuff.
Yeah, you're not far behind us. I think I'm on 4. Are you on 3?
Yeah, this is my third winter.
I think we might have started like
We did.
We started
I started
in January.
in the summer
Yeah.
before, but like the very end,
Yep.
like the fall of that year prior. I don't know
Yeah.
what year that was, but and then so I'd only done a few markets before you guys.
Because we started like mid-market,
Yeah.
mid-season, and 2 years ago. So
I remember that because as soon as you started getting used to everybody
Yeah.
and like doing
You
certain
changed it up on
things,
me.
we flipped it and we went to the winter location.
Yeah.
So no, we've been glad to have you with us for a couple of years now. You know, you started it as Icing on Top, as Chrissy said, now you're Icing on Top in Big Paws. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so where did Icing on Top come from? I guess we can start there.
I've been baking pretty much all my life. I mean, my grandma, a lot of my skills I learned from my grandma, got the recipe. So like, if you love the icing recipe, that's my grandma's recipe. I don't give that to anybody.
Yeah.
So it's a closely held secret. But we started with her, and then it was mostly from home. I mean, we just did friends and family, and then eventually we started taking some orders, and I did a lot of baking pre like 2016, but then we moved away. We lived in Wisconsin for a couple of years for my job. So I was up there in the Appleton area for a couple of years, and we moved back in 2018. And I told Chloe, my wife, I'm like, let's get back into this or do it again. And we started just taking random orders from our house, and we tried to get into the market and it wasn't the right time and whatever the situation was. And eventually we got in, and that's where we're at now. So.
Yeah, because I mean, that's an interesting journey. Because I mean, let's be real. We would love to be able to accept every person that comes into the market.
Yeah.
You know, we so much want to be able to just invite everybody from the community in, but the reality is we do have to limit certain things. We have to look at what the market needs, what the community wants, what people are looking for. So you weren't originally approved as a vendor for the Richmond Farmers Market. Like, was that like, how does it feel to be on that side of it? Because on my end, I hate that part.
It's an interesting perspective, you know what I mean? Because like when you're filling out the application, you just put bakery, and bakery is such a large swath. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? And we really hadn't defined what we did either. You know, we was in that stage of like, we'll do anything because that's what we do. But really looking at it, it kind of makes you just take a step back and like, okay, let's figure out what we're going to focus on. So we knew cupcakes and cookies were kind of our lane that we really wanted to focus on. Not the breads, or that's not my forte. It never has been. It's more the decorated side
a different
of
beast,
things. Yeah, exactly. So we really just took that time to like, okay, this is hone in on what we were doing and then make it better. And eventually there was some people that had left the market, and I'm like, Hannah reached out. And she's like, I was on like a monthly reminder email. Like, I'm going to send an email to the farmers market again, see what happens.
I remember her telling me at your first market, she said, they've been trying to get in forever. They couldn't get in.
Yeah.
She said, I got them in. I think they're going to be awesome. And you guys have been.
We love it. Yeah. I mean, it really, it's part of who we are now. Like Saturday mornings, we just know like that's where we're going to be. And all of our friends on Facebook, which we did a good job before the farmers market, cultivating like a social media presence. And like
you did. And that's one thing that I remember sticking out. Not only did your product look good, you know, your application looked good. And that's what stings sometimes when we're looking at that application process. You can be a very solid contender, but that doesn't, you know, we can't, it doesn't mean that you'll get in that
Right.
way. So that's something that really stood out with me because you guys had good branding. You could tell you had a customer base.
Yep.
You had a following already. You had your own like sites and all this stuff.
Yep.
You're doing all the things, checking all the boxes. I just had to say no at first,
Yeah.
you know.
It builds character.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you stuck it out.
That's right.
Yeah, we are. And that you accepted it when we finally did,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
have some space for it.
Glad we
So,
did. 3 years later now. So
Yeah.
And-
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, look where you are now.
right.
So I guess starting back then, you know, you said cupcakes and cookies were kind of like
Yeah.
your forte. Did you try anything else that you thought about?
We dabbled here and there,
Yeah.
and it's interesting when you think about a bakery. I mean, cupcakes. It's weird to say have like a seasonality to them. So it's like
Yeah.
sometimes you want to make cupcakes and it doesn't.
But you switch
really-
up your, like one
do,
thing I
the
loved
flavors, yeah.
was that you never really did a traditional,
no menu.
you were always doing something different.
We were trying. I mean, you see the big social media chains, and they're like they switched up. Here's the weekly flavors, and we're like,
Right.
that's a trendy thing. I think as long as you stay trendy and like stay with it or what's going on around you, mix it up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it helps your customers. Like, we have flavors of cupcakes that people come for every single time we make them.
Pumpkin
Yep.
chocolate.
I know.
That's the seasonal one right now. But it's like at the same time, like after like 3 weeks of that, are they going to come back for it anymore?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we made sure that we look at that. Like, what have we made a lot lately? Let's not make that. Let's kind of switch it off into this flavor for a little bit or make cookies or something like that.
Yeah. And
do
I
you
think
think?
that's what's made you successful over the
Yeah.
past couple of years. You look at that,
Yeah.
you know, you're not stuck in one lane where you're saying, we're doing these 3 flavors, you know, these certain items. You can look at that and you can change it up and you can take that step back and look at the customer and recognize this isn't what they want right now.
Right.
You know, so being flexible
Yeah.
is really important.
We really like with our sugar cookies. Our sugar cookies are probably our biggest hit. You know what I mean? That's everyone likes the icing, everyone likes the dough of the sugar cookie. But like we recently put like cookie cakes. So you have the 8-inch cookie cakes.
I love
now, and
those.
they're
Yeah, those are
bigger.
awesome.
It's more of a family size. So it's like they instead of buying 2 boxes of the cookies, they're gonna buy one big family size. And it tends to work out a little better from that perspective. So
And your DIY
the
kits.
DIY kits, that's Chloe's brainchild right there. She's like,
Those are
that's
so
my wife,
cute.
by the way, the other owner of Icing on Top. But she's like, one day she's like, we have a 5-year-old at home, and he loves like when we're baking to like be involved as much as possible and give him a icing bag and a cookie. She's like, we're gonna start selling these, and
That's so sweet.
we did it for a little bit where it was like 1 cookie and 1 bag of icing, and now it's like full sets. So you get
Yeah.
6 cookies and 6 bags of icing and then sprinkles. And the best part about that is getting the pictures afterwards. You know what I mean? So we have following on Facebook.
that's-
so you
That's
see,
what
like,
I was going to ask.
They tag you afterwards, and it's like, this is why it's cool. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh,
Like,
kind of like our market halls. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. Like, do people send you what those
we
cookies
do.
look like?
Yes,
Ugh.
and it's so cool. Like, and it's even we're those parents, is what I'll say. Like our 5-year-olds in kindergarten. So like for Halloween, we sent like DIY cookies. So they all got a cookie and a bag of icing and sprinkles, and we got like pictures from
That's
the class.
awesome.
And I'm like, that's why
Is
we
he
do
the
what we do.
favorite?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like,
I mean-
why would you not be? Like you bring it in sugar cookies. So
Well, I keep saying I'm just going to move Chloe into my house.
You really do.
Whenever
You really do.
whenever she wants to. Sorry,
Yeah.
there's a spot for her.
it's
So
funny, that exact comment's been said so many times too. The one lady, she's like, "Can I have like your personal phone number? So, like if I
my
need it,
God.
if I have like a cookie emergency, can I just like
cookie
get some-
emergency?
some as soon as
Oh, that's
possible?"
something I would say.
I had Chloe on speed dial when I was making my aunt's birthday cake.
Oh, I
and
remember
was
that.
texting her like panicking. I don't remember what I was doing, but something was not going right. And Chloe was like,
Oh, I remember
talking
you
me through
messaged
it.
me for a minute and I'm like, I've been having to bake gluten-free for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's a different beast too.
It's-
So,
exactly.
you know,
And I feel so bad too. People reach out like, "Are you gluten free?" And I'm like, that is something that I've never explored, and an avenue that I'm like, I leave that to the experts with
Yeah.
that. Like, go
Right.
That's why I love about the Richmond Farmers Market too. There's vendors for that. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
is,
I don't have to find that avenue. There's plenty of avenues already available for
Yeah.
people to find that.
and,
So,
and going back to it being hard to get into the market,
Yeah.
that's why sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to get in because we are trying to find an avenue for, people who are doing things a little bit different,
Yep.
bringing something that's a little bit different so that when the customers come out, they can find what they are looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't overload with 5 vendors that are selling super similar products because then
Right.
we're not allowing space for someone who might be able to
Yep.
come in and
Have
offer
something
something a little
different.
different. But,
yeah.
so what do you think your favorite thing is to bake?
it's going to be the sugar cookies,
Yeah.
and And it's funny because we started out with cupcakes. Cupcakes was really the shtick. You know what I mean? We make cupcakes, but cookies have just evolved into like you can make them whatever you want. You know what I mean? So like they can be very versatile for like what the market is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the market has this event going on, so let's like skew all the decorations for that. And I still remember the one time there was I don't even know what was going on, but it was some kind of community event down at the farmers market, and we made like the We Are Richmond like mason
I love
jars.
those.
And thinking back, that's like one of the biggest. Like it was so popular, it got like shared a bunch on Facebook, and I'm like, there was like a farmers market group from Indiana that shared it, and I'm like, and it's really just a mason jar with We Are Richmond on it, but people don't, I guess, didn't see that or see it very often, and it's pretty cool, like to see your stuff being shared. And, but yeah, I love
you
the
guys do
cookies.
a good job of that, like kind of seeing what's going on in the moment. You know, you kind of have the liberty of being able to change up your products every week, which is really cool. But it's important to kind of stay in front of that too and stay relevant because, you know, if a customer's coming in every week and seeing the exact same layout, the exact same products, like, yeah, that can build consistency, but it also, you know, doesn't
monotony too.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, like people aren't always going to want to come and get cupcakes. Like it's going to be something that you'll see fluctuate a little bit. So
that's what we love about like the cookies itself. It's like the recipe doesn't change. You know what I mean? So like if you know you love our cookies, it's not going to change. But at the same time, like you can come every single week and there's going to be a different design.
That's one of my favorite things when we come in and like seeing what everybody comes up with. Because a lot of our vendors are like that. They'll come in and they'll decorate for certain occasions, or, you know, Dana, she makes some decorated sugar cookies sometimes too. Like what was that last Easter? She had like egg cartons. Made them look like little chicks, and I could have died. Like I don't know if I could have ate them. But
they were really cute.
Me and Chloe always sit down and like, it's usually on Mondays or Tuesdays we're like, what is the plan for the week? You know what I mean? Like let's look what's going on, like what events are. She has turkey legs on the menu for Saturday. So they're gonna be turkey leg cookies. It's gonna be pretty cool. I think it's fun with Thanksgiving coming up, make it festive.
Staying in front and being aware of all those other community events going on is really important.
It's important
too. Just to know what people have going on in their lives, what might they be interested in right now. And I remember you did like back to school and she had little pencils and, you know, just because it's not going on in your life and in your household doesn't mean that the rest of the world isn't, you know, that it's not happening for them. And so I love that you guys do that.
Yeah, we love promoting the market, like come down to the market. Like, but I think there's an important too, like when you're building your business within the market, like expand it outside the market too. You know what I mean? Like understand that some customers can't make it down there. You know what I mean? So like, we offer like sometimes if we have leftovers from the market, we'll deliver them in locally here in Richmond. So like it builds.
And you've
that
started
base.
your little stand too.
Our little stand, it's right in front of my house. It's kind of it's great. We love it. Like I mean, it looks really cute, but we have to kind of figure out the planning and getting stuff out there and getting the word out that it's sitting in front of my house now. So
that's with small business. It's just always evolving, and I think it's easy to get stuck in the rut of this is what I've always done and it's worked. And this is, you know, what people get, where they get stuck, because it's like, you can't always just do what you've always done. No. You've got to evolve with the times, and you've got to keep your name out there. And even if it's a simple adding, you know, a new sign at your booth that says, you know, icing on top, or, you know, just staying in front of that, because as much as your products speak for themselves, that only goes so far.
Right. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Like your product won't always speak for itself, and the market can't always speak for you either.
Exactly.
So like you said, you utilize other avenues, as you should, to be a smart, you know, business person. You know, we love being that main avenue. We love having you there, but we understand too that you need to make a profit and you need to be successful also outside. So we're just that nice addition to being able to sell those products.
It's always fun too. Like Chloe had this idea, like I feel like we have a pretty good social media presence, and we try to post like all the new fun cookies we're doing. But now like on the corner of our booth every weekend, you see like have a party coming up, and then we have a full like binder full of all of the pictures. And like, believe it or not, people still like flipping through the book. You know what I mean? Like, and little kids especially, they come up and they're like, "Mom, I want this," and it's like, we can definitely do that. And I'm like, and that's happened like a multiple times since we put that book out there. And it's like, you want to see what we do? Like, look at it. Like this.
And you're getting ready to host your first cookie decorating class, which we are both signed up for.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be fun. We're very excited about it. I got all the equipment set up, so I got it all ordered, and that was just something we thought, like, again, trying to think outside the market. Like markets are only on Saturdays, you know what I mean? So like, well, it's great that it's a Saturday, but like, let's do something through the week. And I mean, Richmond is great. It has a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, like, there's not like little classes like that all of the time, or especially when it comes to cookie decorating. So we're like, let's find this little avenue here, and we opened up the class for 24 students, and it sold out within 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, this might be something we were looking into.
Yeah.
So,
and you think about it, of course, you'd love for every person in Richmond to come to you for every cookie that you ever want, but is that feasible? No. So I think it's a really cool thing that you're kind of showing them the tricks to some of your trade, and letting them take that home. And, it doesn't mean you're going to lose customers over it. You're going to gain customers for that.
I think it's just cool too. I mean, decorating. I got into decorating with my grandma. It was just something to do with family, and it's like that's why we love the DIY kits. It's like take them home, do them as a family, or do them yourself. Like it's just something like it's a decompression for me. I mean, like I have a busy day of work. Like what can I do? And believe it or not, like adding more work somehow alleviates some of the stress from my other place. You know what I mean? So. But it's fun.
I can understand that. I can. I think we both can. Every time we try to take a break, we add more onto our load. But that's fine. I mean, that means that we love what we do. So, I think that helps shine through there. But no, I'm really excited about the cookie class. Yeah. And I'm really excited. I'm going to compare mine to yours.
100%. We need a judge to judge on who is the better cookie decorator.
I got this new camera, so you're going to be able to like watch me decorate up on a big screen. It's all fancy. Like we'll see. That's what I'll say.
I think we should take our cookies into the office and not tell them who decorated which ones and make them vote.
There you go.
What do we win?
I don't know. I'll have to work on that.
I don't know, just bragging rights that I beat you, because I'm going to.
Whatever.
No, see, I'm nervous though, because when I'm doing stuff like that, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to take the class. See, I can't eat the cookies because gluten actually makes me sick. So, we'll see how this goes. But if I'm just messing with the icing, I should be fine as long as I don't, get crazy and try to taste anything. But I'm very impatient. I'm very much at A to Z. I don't want that B, C, D, no, I don't want any of it. I just want to be like, okay, I have this vision in my head and it should automatically transfer to the product that's in front of me. So that's why I cannot, for the life of me, get decorating down. Like, I tried to make a cake for my son's birthday one year, and I did not know that using marshmallow icing was a bad idea. It looked great for like 10 minutes. I left the room and I came back and it was a marshmallow. And I'm like, what have I done? Like, because I just slathered it on there and I put all kinds of, I think it were like little candies or something, and it was rainbow themed. It was really cute. And then I'm like, well, that's ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned it into a Lion King theme. So he loves Lion King. So I put like, Scar on top and Foss on. So, I mean, the fact that it was a mess kind of went with the madness of what it ended up being. But I'm really curious to see how this is going to go.
I am too, because I can bake pretty well, but the decorating is where I'm terrible. And I tried to buy those fancy bags with a little tip one time, but I put way too much icing in the bag. And when it went everywhere.
It's going to be interesting. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Like we have all the tips bought. I mean, everybody has their own set of tips. And we get to use them and everything. This is
going to get serious.
We'll use them. We have little practice sheets. So we'll practice on a practice sheet before you go to the cookie.
Oh my gosh, I would expect nothing less out of you.
That way, I mean, it's all laminated sheets. You're going to be able to practice it before you put it in a cookie. That way, for the perfectionist people like me, I mean, I don't want to try it the first time on the cookie and then here's my cookie blob that I'm giving to somebody. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be fun.
See, that's what I was worried about. I'm going to start immediately on a cookie.
Absolutely not. You're
not going to know it's supposed to be turkey.
That's right. Yeah. So,
I'm excited about
all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, now that I'm hungry and craving cookies and cupcakes.
I should have brought some. Why did I do that?
Why didn't you?
I almost brought some of mine. I made cookies last night.
You're both rude. You're both rude. But you have, as busy as icing on top keeps you, you have a whole nother business that you said, hey guys, I'm not busy enough. Yeah. I'd like to do dog treats.
I've always joked it's like my undiagnosed ADHD. I'm like let's just focus and I like feel like I'm in a good spot and I'm like, let's just take on some more. Let's just keep on.
Right. Kind of how we work.
And I'm very lucky though. When I step back from it, like I have my sister who helps me with Big Paws Bakery, my wife who helps me with icing on top. And honestly, they do more work than I do most of the time with those businesses. Like my wife's a stay-at-home mom. It's probably 10% me. You know what I mean? 90% her, 10% me. And me and my sister are about half and half. And so like, yes, it sounds busy and I'm not gonna lie, it is busy at times, but I have a support system in there that makes it really good, which is really fun. So Big Paws Bakery is just a mind child. Like we step back and you come to the market and the first thing you notice is all the dogs at the market.
Dogs.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so fun. Like, we're dog people. I've had a dog my whole entire life. And it was like, why is no one doing this? You know what I mean? Like, why is this avenue? And then I started digging into it. And
Why didn't
I
why
realized,
doing
right?
it,
I
Ethan?
very quickly
Let's talk
realized
about
why
that.
no one wanted to do dog treats. Because
I remember when you came to me
Yes.
about it, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I would love it, but
here's this 15-page
are you going to
packet.
do this?"
Like,
Right? Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So like me and my sister talked about it, and like I think a lot of it is there's a lot of startup fees with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we are like licensed from the state of Indiana. So like
Yeah.
that's a whole process in itself. Like, when you like make dog treats at home, you can do it from home, you have to be fully licensed. So like that goes through, you have to have all your treats laboratory tested. All your labels have to be like regulatory reviewed from the state of Indiana before you can even sell them to people.
And that's every flavor.
Every
even.
flavor, yeah. So like,
if you change anything, it's got to be sent out for
if I
testing.
modify the formula in any way, it has to be resent out for testing,
Yeah.
and then it has to be, you have to pay another fee for it to be relicensed to the state
Yeah.
of Indiana. And that's not like a one-time fee; it's an annual fee. So like,
Wow.
you pay it for this year, and you're renewing all of them for the next year. So
That's
we
crazy.
we originally started with 3 flavors. We got all those like tested and verified, and all the labels. And then we're like, let's add another one. So we added a gluten-free one, which I'm glad we did. You know what I mean? So we had,
My dog loves that one.
it was fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Blueberry.
and again, looking back, I guess I didn't recognize that there was dogs that were that sensitive to treats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the first 2 or 3 markets, people came up to me like, they love the idea of having dog treats, but like, they're like, my dog has this digestive issue and can't have gluten. And I'm like, hey, Sierra, like, you know what I mean? We're really good friends with Bendy Farms in Centerville. So we sell our treats at Bendy Farms too, which is pretty cool being able to do that. So,
Yeah, they're 100% gluten free
100%
there. They don't let
gluten-free.
anything
So
else in there.
she knows exactly what's going on. So we source a lot of our flours from her for our gluten-free dog treat. It's called the Briar. It's actually named after her dog that passed. So she wanted something in her store too. So it was kind of a team effort there with that. So she helped us figure out the flour component because even going back to Ice on Top, I've never really dealt in the gluten-free realm.
Right.
But we make sure that all of our countertops are clean. Everything gets sterilized between making the gluten-free treat.
Could you imagine doing that for baking?
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Like,
I applaud like Dana that does all the gluten-free. Like, she's like, none of my mixes has ever touched gluten. And I'm like, that is an amazing like statement to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It is.
because our stuff. I'm like, just
And I know
the
you're-
cleaning we do between our stuff is.
but it's a different
extensive.
lifestyle
It
too.
is.
Like for me, you're not going to find normal flour in
Right.
my house. Like,
Right.
so I can, be like, well, mine have never touched flour
True,
either, unless
true.
my husband sneaks something in there that he shouldn't. But he's very good at it too. He actually just naturally adopted that gluten-free lifestyle. God bless him for that, because I don't know that I could have done the same if I was in a different shoe, because I loved bread, pasta, and it's just not the same.
Oh, I would be
really
very
not the
sad
same.
if I couldn't have bread or pasta.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
And you're, I know, like super meticulous about your processes.
Yes.
And, you have been through it now on the human side and the dog side.
Yes.
And it's kind of crazy that it's almost more strict on the animal side.
I would 100% agree that it's more strict than the animal side.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's Indiana has like cottage laws for a home bakery. So like a lot of that is, I'll say, unregulated. You know what I mean? So you're meant to follow the rules, and if you follow the rules, you're good to go. You can sell. Like there's no one.
Yep.
The health department can show up and like at the market and like
Sure.
making sure you're labeling stuff properly. But there's really no process to that. You know?
You're not submitting each
Right.
cupcake flavors
Yeah.
for a lab analysis.
Big Paws is wildly
Yeah.
different. Like, I mean, like we had like a back and forth of the state, making sure like certain ingredients were labeled this way, and you can't add this ingredient, which we did a lot of research before this. It wasn't just something I like jumped into.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my background is in animal feed anyways. So like I had a lot of the background information prior to doing that. And then me and my sister sat down, we're like, what are ingredients? Like it's Big Paws is based off our dog. So like our family dog, he passed away in January. And that's like our logo is our family dog. I actually do that picture out and everything else. And I'm like, this is what our logo could be. Like it could be a logo.
Yeah.
And now he's on everything. The Roscoe, that's named after him.
I was gonna say all of your treats, all the names are after.
Yes. Yeah. The Roscoe and the Briar are named after dogs that we've actively known. You know what I mean? Like that's our dog, like the dogs we know. But
Yeah.
we're like a fun way just to set us apart is instead of just calling it a peanut butter treat, like
Yeah.
why
Right.
not call it the Max? You know what I mean? Like everyone's
exactly.
like, and it's always fun when you have a dog that like we've had like 2 or 3 Bellas come up. They're like, oh, I'm totally getting back at the Bella
Oh, that's so
because
cute.
my dog's name is Bella. And I'm like,
Cute.
it works as a marketing strategy too. Like, I don't want to say it that way, but like,
I vote for the next one to be Lenny.
Yeah. Or Blaze.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
Or, I mean, why would my dog trump yours? But my dogs love them.
Yeah.
They absolutely love them.
Love hearing
And I
it.
can say my dog has a lot of digestive sensitivities, and it is so nice to be able to give him something like that. I feel like I'm like cheating him sometimes because he doesn't know what certain things taste like because he's never been able to try any of it.
Right.
But when I took home the sweet potato blueberry treat, those are two of his favorite things. So it's like I feel like I can finally give him something a little bit different than what he gets. You know?
We get that story a lot though. That's what like makes it worth it too. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there's regulations. Yes, there's XYZ you have to follow, but like the amount of people that come back each week and they're like, our dog loved these. Like, we had a customer, it's been a couple weeks ago, and he's like, we put 4 different treats out. Like, 1 was yours and like 3 was like the other retailers of treats. And like, our dog went to your treat every single
fun.
time.
I should
and
try
I'm like, it's just a fun, like rewarding stance. I'm like, we're doing something good. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I know I've told you, Lenny would sit right outside our back door, and we had a shelf right inside our back door, and right to the right, there's that bag of treats. So he would just stand there at the back door, and he's only about a foot away from those treats. And as soon as I would open it, he'd kind of stick his head in a little bit. I'd grab one, I'd give it to him. And when I was out one day, he was not happy with me.
Oh, when you were out of treat.
Yeah. So now I try to make sure that we all have it. Yeah. And now we have Allie. So Lenny, he's a Great Pyrenees, and then Allie, she's a golden retriever. They're a lot of fun together.
I bet.
That's been an adventure in itself. But no, the only time I can really get them to both sit at the same time, I think I've sent you this picture before.
You sent it to me.
I have the Big Paws treats, and I have got one in this hand and one in this hand. I'm like, sit. And then they'll do anything for me if I have those treats in my hand. But as soon as I'm just trying to, get them under control, they're picking at each other. So,
love it.
But.
Have you seen, Big Paws just started over the summer, but are you already seeing a customer base from that?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have the customers every week. Other than we do more than just the treats. So we've also done the over the collar bandanas, and that's again, it goes back into the seasonality of it. So you can like change it up. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted something like the treats are like the base, and like, what else can we do like around the edges that like make it a full
and they
plate.
Slide, and they're really cool. They slide over the dog's collar,
you
so
feed
it's
them right
not,
through the collar.
so you
Exactly.
don't have to
knot them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fun because Christmas is coming and you have Thanksgiving.
I can't wait.
I thought I saw stockings.
Some stockings, like personalized stockings. Like we're gonna promote it as kind of like a pre-filled stocking. So instead of having to go to the big box stores, you can like come to the farmers market and get it already full, and you're gonna give it to your dog.
And we have our dog regulars at the market.
Oh yeah. One is Luke. Everyone
I
knows
know
Luke.
that's gonna come out.
Luke's one of my favorite customers every single week. So
I tell my retriever, I'm like, you're gonna grow up to be like Luke.
Luke is the best.
There's no question. Like, she's rambunctious. He's so chill. I know. She's still a puppy. She's only like 4 months old. But gosh.
Yes,
I look at Luke and I look at her and I'm like, you're two completely different things, right? No.
It's fun.
Dogs have their own personalities too.
And that's the funnest part. And like, it's funny, we have Blaze now, our miniature schnauzer, and he's a great dog. And it's funny, like, seeing the customers come back every single week, not only to talk to you, but like, where's Blaze this weekend? It's like, well, I didn't bring Blaze this weekend. Sorry, like, it's busy or whatever it was. He's at home today, you know what I mean? But like, customers expect to see you and they expect to see your dog too. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's
like,
really sweet.
it's
He's
fun.
such a sweet little dog.
Yeah.
I felt it was like one of our customers came and like they came by our booth and they had just lost their miniature schnauzer, and like they love the fact that Blaze was there, and they come like almost every Saturday now just to pet Blaze. And I'm like, you know what? If that is like your avenue of like release or whatever it is, like come
That's
by
your
every
happy
Saturday.
moment.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what makes it all worth it. So to me, like, it's not even, they're not buying treats, you know what I mean? But it's just something about building the community.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I think that's one of the coolest things about being there is just seeing those people who come through every week.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't buy anything, but they just want to come out and be part of it.
They socialize.
Yep. It's just kind of, it's such a good place to be.
And you know what I mean? Like, looking back on it, like before we started at the market, like, we didn't come down to the market very often, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't come down to the market
and just be able to enjoy it.
The community aspect of it. Like, there's so much. There's literally something for everybody, and I know it's like a marketing shtick sometimes, but there really is. With the Richmond market, it's so diverse, and like there's so many different avenues that you can find. You want some crafts for the weekend? Great. There's someone selling something you're going to want. So.
Right.
And that's, we talk to you guys all the time as vendors about evolving your business and always trying to stay ahead of it. We do the same thing, you know, on the back end of it. We're always trying to find a different reason for someone to come out. And
Right. Because our goal is, you know, the market, it's every Saturday.
Right.
So that can also be monotonous to a lot of people.
Right.
We're there every Saturday, but you know, we want it to be that integrated part of your life. Like today's Saturday, that means it's market day.
Right.
So people come out, you know, and like you said, they might not buy something, but they come because they enjoy the company and the community that's there. So, you know, it's the day you look forward to.
Right.
You know, some people get Friday, we get Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes people think too, like it's a festival. You know what I mean? Like it's not a festival vibe. I mean, it's a set thing. And so you have to really realize and step back that like it's a business at the end of the day. It's open on Saturdays only. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's seasonal.
Yeah, it's
so
seasonal.
you're not going to come out in December and find the same things that you found in May.
Yep.
But there's that's makes it kind of fun too. You know that. Like right now, I'm eating butternut squash every single day because, you know,
that's what's in season.
That's what's in season. But, you know, it's just fun because then you get to see all the different, the seasons actually change, you know, with our vendors too.
Yeah. I think some people, I just want like, you know what I mean? The market is great, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not like a festival of some kind where it's like, you know what I mean? Like we know that there's variability in it. Like people like to go out and do the festivals and do this and that, like, but we're always there. So it's like the constant in the community. Like sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes a bad thing when it comes to business. You know what I mean? Like
it's a challenge for us.
You get kind of forgotten sometimes. It's like a Saturday morning.
Because we're there
like,
every Saturday. I know.
So,
and that's why we do try to have some bigger event days here and there. Because it is like the market will be there. We can go there next Saturday. We're asking you to please spend Saturday mornings with us.
Yes, but we love seeing people. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Saturdays are for that purpose. And the minute you don't have one on a Saturday, it's like, why didn't you have it on that Saturday?
I know.
You know what I mean?
We close, 3 days?
Exactly.
There's 3 days in the whole year that we actually schedule to close. But I think every year I've been with the market, it's like, well, that's the one day I tried to come. And I'm like,
I know.
Well, you know.
But it's so fun. I mean, you get so used to seeing like some people every Saturday. And I'm like,
I know.
This is what it's about.
Yeah.
So.
How has the SNAP program benefited you as a small business owner? Now you can't use it for
Big Paws, but you can use it for icing on top, and it's really cool. I mean, I think it's cool that the local community come out and use those SNAP tokens towards locally made food instead of just, and plus it's getting doubled. I can't stress that enough. Like you're pulling $20 out, and if you go spend $20 at a big box store, you're only spending $20.
Right.
But if you pull $20 out at the Richmond Farmers Market, you're getting 40.
Yeah. I know.
And you can spread that across. You can spread that across multiple places.
I feel like people look at us when we explain it. Sometimes
like,
they're
what
like,
do you mean double?
What do you mean? Like,
and I'm like, double.
Like they're waiting for the catch.
I know. That's why now I'm like, there's no catch.
No.
Like,
it really is.
You take 20 off, we give you 40. You take 40 off, we're going to give you 80.
Right.
You take 80 off, we're going to give you 160. Like, how many times can I double this in my head? I don't know.
And it's so fun because you have people like, and they want to support local. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
They do.
And they're like, yes, I want to spend, like, I have a birthday party coming up. You know what I mean? So can you make all of this? And they come to the market, get it all for their party or whatever it might be. And they're like, this is great.
It makes the market more accessible.
It does.
And I think, you know, what we've seen the past couple of years, we've been through some tough times.
Yeah.
I mean, just all around,
right.
You know, and not just the Richmond community, the Wayne County community. I mean, all around the world, we've been through a lot of tough times. And I think, you know, one thing, you know, everything always goes back to like pandemic, whatever. But I mean, that was a time when people really realized I can't rely on Walmart.
Right.
Yeah. I can't rely on Kroger. They're selling out of breads. They're selling out of eggs. They're selling out of all these essentials.
See in your lifetime when you
couldn't
buy paper towels
and get the stuff that you need. And I think, you know, when a lot of businesses, you know, then most other businesses were closed. So if it wasn't these big box stores, then you couldn't go to most other ones because they couldn't be open.
Right.
But then the market was deemed an essential business and was able to find a way to remain open. And then what happened? You had your local farmers and your local, you know, makers that were coming forward and they had that food. So it kind of came back to those roots where you're relying on your community and your neighbors. So I think that's, you know, a foundation that really started getting rebuilt a couple of years ago and kind of instilled in people. And I know even this year, without the pandemic, you know, we've seen a lot of people, you don't know what's going on. It's different times. It's trying times. You know, we're pinching pennies. We have tighter budgets. So, you know, having programs like the Double Dollars and the WIC Market
Absolutely.
Match, it just, and then just having people like you guys that come out every single week and make these products every single week.
And it's,
like,
I love it too, because especially with the SNAP dollars, like, again, big box stores are there for a reason. You know what I mean? But they're not going to know your name at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So spending your money down at the farmer's market, the vendors are going to know your name. You know what I mean? That's the cool part. I mean, when you get to know people and like you build a relationship. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it's like they don't know who you are, and like you're supporting local in your own way if you come to the market. So
how do you deal with like the kind of that, because ebbs and flows of business are a real thing.
Yes.
How do you deal with that from a small business perspective when that is your bread and butter?
It is, yeah, and it's hard sometimes. I'll say I'm not going to say we're experts at it, because there's been weekends where it's like, man, this is a bad weekend. And
I know. And you'll think like, it'll be a good weekend, and then it just flatlines, and you're like, I don't know what happened.
Last week.
Yeah,
last week
was great.
Was an amazing.
Exactly.
We saw.
Busy.
We haven't stopped talking about last Saturday because
that was our highest SNAP sale.
Yeah.
That we saw. It beat every single market day last winter, and I think maybe over the summer.
It was a wild day,
you know,
in a good way.
Right.
People just kept coming in waves, and they were getting SNAP tokens, and we saw vendors running out of products.
Yeah.
I walked around towards the end of the market, and there were literally bare tables.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's really cool. Like from like planning from a Big Paws perspective is different from icing on top. You know what I mean? So like we're very lucky that Big Paws has a shelf life on it. You know what I mean? So it's not.
Right.
I mean, we do bake every single week, and we're replenishing. But if we have some left over, then it's good through.
It's not like you keep a cupcake for the next week. You know,
ice on top's its own little bear. You know what I mean? Like we sit down on like a Monday or Tuesday, we plan out. I mean, if you're not looking at what's going on around town, you're not doing yourself a service.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, you should know that from a business perspective, that if there's something new coming up in town, people are more drawn to do that than the constant thing that's every Saturday. You know what I mean? Come back next Saturday. So we look at that. We make a plan. I mean, the goal is to always sell out. So if it's selling out and you're only making $100, or you're selling out and you're making $400, like what does that look like for us?
Yeah.
And then we've also, I mean, we make sure that if we do have leftovers, about the last 10 minutes of the market, we take some more pictures of what we have. We post it on Facebook. Free delivery to your house, and
I
try
think
to
it's
get rid of it.
crazy that you guys do free delivery.
And it's a long day. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
Looking at it from like a
and you do it like
perspective.
across, like it's not like you're just doing it for Richmond.
No,
I
it's
mean,
Wayne
you do
County.
like
Connorsville. We dropped off at Connorsville. Like
y'all are crazy.
That was the one morning, and I always hated like not coming to that market, but we'd already made everything, and then it was just raining, and I'm like, all of our packaging.
I know.
We pride ourselves on our packaging, but at the same time,
Was that when the hurricane blew through?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was a
it's
wild
like
day.
paper-based packaging. So staying outside with paper-based packaging, it's not a good mix. You know what I mean? So we're like, yeah, we'll definitely just like deliver around Wayne County, and we live in Cambridge, so it's close enough to Connorsville. Yeah, we were like busy for 5 hours, and I'm like, maybe that wasn't. I mean, it was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got rid of everything, and we didn't have any losses for the weekend.
Maybe some of those people wouldn't have been able to come out.
That's
so
the fun
I mean,
part. Especially the Connorsville. We had a few in Connorsville. That was
and they'll see that you're going to be at the market at a different time, and that'll give them like, hey, let's go. You know, get some cookies.
It's fun. So I mean, we try to make sure like to minimize the losses as much as possible. Like I mean, we're a business at the end of the day. Like you're going to have losses. I mean, just suffering through them too. You know what I mean? Like that's something I like with new people coming through. Like, don't take a bad weekend to heart. You know what I mean?
I know,
like
you're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days.
It's hard because I mean, even in the beginning, it's like, man, are we doing something wrong? Like, I feel like we did everything right, and I don't know why no one came to the market today. You know what I mean?
And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason.
And there's
to
no
it.
right, exactly.
It can be the weather. It can
exactly.
be, there are other events that go on. And that's one thing by being there every single week. We're always up against those other community events going on. But we try to stay in front of that, you know.
You guys do a great job of it, too.
And you guys do, too, because you say, okay, maybe it's going to be a lighter market. Maybe we scale back on this and this, you know, or I know over the summer you kind of shifted off of like cupcakes a little bit. Now you're coming back into, you know, the season where those sell really well. So you do a really good job of kind of keeping your eye on the ball, too.
We try.
And making those adjustments. And I think that's where some vendors struggle sometimes because, you know, the inventory that they bring in one month might be, need to be adjusted the next month. And
exactly.
they can get into this kind of rut of just always bringing
what
the same
worked
thing.
last year might not work this year.
Yeah.
And that's the weird part with like it really is like you had the pandemic, and like I hate saying the pandemic because it was like its own little bear.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It feels like a fever dream.
It was weird.
It really
and
does.
like you try to like base off that, and it's like you can't base it off of what that was, and like it was so busy sometimes, and then there was like the money coming in from like the school kids, and like you had to kind of figure out where that was at. And but like looking forward, like it's just like what can we do, like making sure we're promoting ourselves too, like well, you guys promote the market, which is great, but like vendors need to make sure like this is my business and I'm going to promote it as much as possible. Like tagging you guys in it. I mean, understanding the Facebook algorithm, you know what I mean? Like making sure like you tag some people, like you guys have 10,000 plus followers, you know what I mean? So tagging you in it can, like, people that follow the Richmond Farmers Market will see your post too if they're seeing it, you know what I mean? Just understanding that social media aspect of it and getting people hyped to come.
And not being afraid to use it either.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people, you know, you hear social media, I've said it before, they want to start backing off. And I'm like, this is free marketing for you.
But I'm a big technology guy too. So I want to make sure like curate it to what it is. You know what I mean? Like people eat and buy with their eyes first. You know what I mean? That if it looks pretty online, they're more than likely to come down and get it. If the bandana is cute on a dog that you post on Facebook, that they're gonna make that's my dog. You know what I mean? Let's go get it for my dog. So it's like making sure you build this atmosphere of just like.
Well, even when we did the Dogs to the Farmers Market post, when those started picking up traction last year, we had people that would come just to be like, oh, will you take his picture so I can see it on there?
Like that again.
It was just, that was really sweet. Yeah.
And that's the fun part about, like, we partner with Help the Animals too. So like we go after every Saturday, like, so Saturdays never end at the farmer's market for us. So like we leave the farmer's market and I literally leave and go to the help shelter, and I'm like, I let them pick whatever dog they want to that week. And I go out there and put a Big Paws bandana on them and take pictures, and we try to promote it. And like, last time I had checked, we had taken like 12 pictures, and like 9 of the 12 had been adopted. I'm like, and I'm like, I'm not saying we're the ones getting them adopted, you know what I mean? But like any kind of light shined on them.
The situation.
Exactly. And that's what they said, like any kind of like light that can be shined is like
so important.
More. So it's pretty cool. And then every new dog gets their own bandana or a bag of treats. They get a little card, bring it down to the market, and you get a free bag of treats or a bandana. So
that's so cool.
We made sure, like, looking back, me and my sister, when we first started this, we're like, we want to make sure it's not just like about us. You know what I mean? Like build the community as a bigger whole. You know what I mean? So from the very beginning, we made sure that we wanted to partner with somebody in the community.
That's important too, because you know what? Walmart ain't going to do that.
No, exactly. Exactly. And it's just cool. And now we have a relationship with them. We walk in on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons, and they get excited to see us too. They want to see what new bandana it is. And
so have you had one of those 9 come in yet?
No, not yet.
I'm like, okay, well, I really want to see that happen.
There was one dog, and she stole my heart. Is what I'll say.
You guys almost like.
I was literally about to like.
I said, Chloe, go get that.
I know. We were really trying to talk her into it.
Because she would like literally lay on my lap, and I was taking pictures, and I'm like, I never post myself in the pictures, but like she wouldn't literally get off my lap, and I'm like, Chloe, I need this dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need this dog. But then having a home-based bakery too, like, and a dog that sheds does not make a good.
That's a good call. Yeah.
But it was so fun. Like, it was about 3 weeks ago. Her new owner actually messaged Big Paws Bakery, and she's like, I just want you to know that she found a really good home. And like, she sent pictures. Yeah, she sent pictures. And I'm like, it was literally like the perfect message. And I'm like, this is why we do it. You know what I mean? So it does. It was cool. So
that is really cool. What would your best advice be for like a new business starting out, whether it's a bakery or, you know, just starting with the market, kind of getting your, you know, again, like we said, took you a while to get in. So what would your best advice be?
Don't give up and build your social media presence. I can't emphasize social media enough. You know what I mean? Like if we wouldn't have had the presence we did when we first started out, like, you know what I mean? Post your stuff. I mean, even if you're not confident, like showing people what you're doing is the biggest thing. You know what I mean?
Even if you're not getting immediate reactions.
Exactly. That way, if at the end of the day, like if an opportunity arises, I mean, we had our social media presence out there for a long time, and we were denied for the market.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you're still posting on there, building that
But I saw
clientele,
that.
exactly.
I recognized that.
And then we got in, and then we never really gave up. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Hannah maybe got tired of seeing my monthly email, and I'm like, she's like, well, where are you at the advisory board meeting once a month? And I'm like, here's my new one. Here's my new one. Like,
I'm still
please let me
here.
in.
We can't get rid of either.
But
And now look, he's here times
that's
two.
right, exactly. I'm here in all the capacities, but it's just. Yeah, don't give up. I mean, going back to like, if you have a bad weekend, don't think a bad weekend defines your business either. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's literally the idea of a farmer's market. Sometimes it's going to happen, and it's just
Right.
cool.
And we've seen that too recently. The economy has been tough on everyone. We've all been through it. You know, we've seen people maybe stretching their dollars a little bit more, you know, and maybe those dollars had to go towards more essential items versus, you know, a treat yourself kind of thing. And you guys fight through that and work through that every single week.
It is. It's hard.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and that is an essential.
Well, yeah, we usually find room for it, but
I eat dinner to eat dessert.
That's right.
That's my deal. You know.
That's why I love the sweets. So
See, if I was in your situation, I would be in trouble because I mean, you have to taste test everything.
I will say,
And I
at
can't
a certain
stop at
point, though,
one.
you get tired of it. Like I love our stuff, and I can promote our stuff as much as possible. But like, there's days I'm like, I don't want to smell a chocolate cupcake. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh,
I'm
that's
like,
so funny.
please don't bake any chocolate cupcakes this week because I don't want to smell the chocolate cupcake. I will say, I was laying at home last night and I was looking through some of the questions, and I'm like, man, I really want a sugar cookie. And I'm like, Chloe, do we have any cookies? And she's like, no, like that's not made until Friday. Like, you know, I'm like, dang it, I just want a
doesn't make
sugar
them for
cookie.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
funny.
So,
Oh, I just lost my train of thought. Edit that out, please.
Edit. Chop it out.
So if someone wanted to follow you or get more information on, because you do custom orders,
We do.
You do big orders, you do small orders,
Yes.
you do farmers market stuff. Where could they get all that
we have
information?
all kinds of stuff. So we have Facebook and Instagram for Big Paws and Icy on Top. So you can follow us with Icy on Top on Facebook or Icy on Top Cupcakery on Instagram. And then we're Big Paws Bakery on both Facebook and Instagram. So we have both of those. We post quite often. I mean, you'll see dogs and cupcakes quite often if you follow our pages. We also have websites as well. So Big Paws Bakery co.com is what I'll say. Like you can order dog treats. So we are currently approved to ship to Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So we are licensed in all three of those states. So it's not just Indiana. We have Ohio and Pennsylvania as well. And then Icy on Top, we're a home-based vendor, so we can't ship out of the state of Indiana, but we do have a website if you want to go reach out to us and have some custom orders. So
Or stop by the farmers market.
Stop by the farmers market.
Yep.
The custom orders are always the fun ones. So that's the ones where you reach out, and we always love the ones where like, we trust you. You have creative freedom, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Let's do something fun. You know what I mean? My new favorite thing right now is making the cookie pies, make them look as much like a pie as
like
possible.
pies.
Like,
They do look like pies.
Chloe's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making a cherry pie out of icing. That's what I'm doing.
But I will say, if she ever wants to bring the Pop-Tarts back,
Oh, I know.
I'm a supporter.
Oh, she made those Pop-Tarts. And
I will say, I think it was the Hurricane Helene when you guys had Pop-Tarts and
Yes.
you weren't at the market.
I know,
and
the
she was
pumpkin
over there.
Pop-Tarts.
I was mad.
So we're in the
Oh.
rain. It's cold. It's damp. And she's like, are you kidding me?
Of all the days that she made the Pop-Tarts, she's not here.
I told Chloe back this. I'm like, I need to do that. Like they were they were good. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
you could do those again.
Some of y'all make stuff that I just,
That's
I
the fun
really
part about it,
question
yeah.
how sensitive I am to gluten sometimes.
The holiday pies
Oh yeah.
from,
Oh, like
you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That's an idea.
I'll have to look into it.
What are we talking about?
I don't know how else to say. They're called holiday pies at a certain chain restaurant. Sells
Making some holiday pies that look like your fast food restaurant.
probably can't. Just
She's-
move on.
I am
She-
way
she's
lost
gone.
right
She's
now.
gone. You lost her, Christy. I followed your train of thought. You're
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Well, what's your favorite thing about coming to the market?
Us.
Yeah.
Other than us.
It's funny. You ruined it. I literally told Chloe outside. So I told Chloe, I'm like, I'm literally going to say, of course, you guys. You know what I
my
mean?
That would have looked like paid you to say that.
No, I think it really is. And sometimes we say the word community a lot, but it is its own community at the farmers market. You know what I mean? Like seeing and building those relationships of people you had never met before in your whole entire life. And there's just like, or the dogs too. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Luke looks forward to me petting him. I don't know. Gosh. Maybe he doesn't, you know what I mean? But I look forward to petting Luke. So
he
that's
does.
what I'll say.
I watch him get so excited. Like, just, I feel like depending on who he walks up to, he has like a body language the way he squirms around.
And he sits there. But it's just like building that sense of just, there's something like so safe about it too. You know what I mean? It feels like these are my people. Like I see you all the time. It's protective in a way. I mean, the vendors are really cool. You know what I mean? It's not like we're sitting here like, I hate you or like, no, it's like we build each other up. Like me and Dana talk all the time. Dana talks to Chloe, like, and again, we're both bakeries, but she's on her own like gluten-free path and we're on the non-gluten-free path. And it's just so cool to see like camaraderie within what it is and building each other up.
I love when we do the market hall post and we have vendors post and they've bought all this stuff from the other vendors. And, but it just shows that, you know, and I love it even when like, it could be something similar like when you buy something from Dana, who's another baker, you know, but it's just showing that cross support to each other and you're sharing each other's Facebook posts and you're saying like, you know, I've seen a lot of the vendors share when you posted your cookie class and different things, like they're all so supportive.
It really is fun. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, that's, you look back on it and I feel bad I never get to post my market haul because I've most of the time ate my market haul before I've left the market. Like
every single time.
I'm like, I always forget to like, we're in the middle of it. And I'm like, go get a cinnamon roll from Sweet Blessings or something like that. And I'm like, well, it's gone. So I would love to say that I had it, but I mean, it's so cool.
Half the time when I get like my cinnamon roll and stuff in the morning from Derek, he's like, do you even need a box?
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Or if I only order like one thing, he's like, I know that's not, so he'll just wait. Like,
and then it was even better. The truck was there last Saturday, and I'm like, I die every time they come, and I'm like, here's my money. Please just take all of it and give it all to me. So, but
she's incredible.
You just look forward to it. I mean, it's so fun. Like when you think about it, like going back like 4 years ago, I never thought that. Man, I'm going to spend 3 hours of my Saturday, every Saturday at a market, and then now. Fast forward, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't there on Saturday.
Right.
You know
I know.
So,
people think that we're crazy when we say we work 6 days a week, but we really do because we're there every Saturday. But we, just like you have Monday through Friday that, you know, you have to be at too for different reasons. But there's something about it that gets you out of bed at,
it's
you
fun.
know, the crack of dawn.
It's weird. And
can we replay this little clip in like January?
Right.
I know,
it's cold.
When it's cold and it's dark and we're trying to wake up in the morning and we hit snooze like 3 times.
Unfortunately, I did look at the weather for next Saturday. It's like 41 as a high. So I'm like,
no, thank
you. And I'm like, we're a little early for that, but it's okay.
We had great weather up until right in like this week.
But it goes back to, I shouldn't say like it's 41. Please come to the market. You know what I mean? It's warm. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? That's what I love. We have the lights hanging. Like it's like its own little atmosphere.
And we get to use Star Jeanette. Like that's literally a piece of Richmond history.
You still go to the big box stores when it's cold outside.
That's right.
So why can't you come to the farmers market?
That is such a good point.
So you still walk in and you're warm in there. So you're warm in the.
You know, and I saw this thing the other day on Facebook that said, you know, when big box stores raise prices or mess up your order or any of the above, you go back to those places. But it seems like when a small business does that, it's harder for people to accept or they want to quickly negotiate. You want to negotiate pricing or you want to put a bad review on Facebook or, you know, something. And I know that. And that's such a good point. You're going to keep going back to the grocery store. You're going to keep going back to those big box stores. Why would you not keep supporting small business even when they, you know,
they're going to remember you. You know what I mean? That's we know the ones that keep coming back and they love our stuff. And it's like, I know them by name now. And it's like, we know we work together really close and it's just, it's fun. I mean,
that has to be awesome.
It really is.
To know like I did their birthday party last year or something.
I think the most rewarding thing from icing on top is like you do a birthday party and you never know, like sometimes things happen and they never come back to you. But we have people that like, they do a birthday party and we don't hear from them for a year. And then like, we do another birthday party for them. You know what I mean? So it's like every single year, like, and we have a few customers, we've done like 4 birthdays for them at this point. And like, they don't go to anybody else, say, no, we're going to be there. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, yes, you're going to do our birthday party every single year. And
I love that.
It's cool.
I would like you to do my birthday party and my half-year birthday party and everything in between. Yeah.
you get to see them every Saturday.
I know, and
you know this, right?
Trust me. That bag of thumbprint cookies that I bought last week
those have
was
been popular too.
like
So.
Let me tell you about the thumbprint cookies.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
I got some for my son's birthday party because I procrastinated, and you were gonna do cookies for my son's birthday party, and life happened, and I just So I bought stuff from you guys from the market, and I took thumbprint cookies. My nephew snuck a whole bag of those thumbprint cookies in his hoodie and left with them.
That's funny.
And I let it happen.
They're awesome.
I'm not going to judge.
They're so good.
You know, but.
And I can take zero credit for those. That is a Chloe brainchild.
Good on you, Chloe.
She got the recipe. She figured her own recipe out, and like
They're
the icing,
phenomenal.
and they're so good.
Yeah.
Like her sister just had a baby shower last weekend. I'm like, I'm literally going to go home with like half a tray of these. Not because they didn't get, I'm going to steal them and take them for myself because she won't make them for me. I mean, she makes them for everybody else, but not for me. But that's
funny.
My own problem. But
Wow.
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It is. Well, my nephew appreciated them. I know you appreciate them.
Yes.
And the community appreciates them.
That day, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming out today.
Yes, I love
Sure.
it. Thank you guys for
Another
inviting me.
insight.
So it's been fun, and you can see us every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
We're in a combined table now. So Icy on Top and Big Paws, we're the same one.
Yeah.
It's always been fun the past couple of weeks explaining that we have human treats and people treats, but come see us on Saturdays. We're combined, and then summer we usually split out into two big tents that way. So
Yeah, it's working out well.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Ethan.
Yeah.